So, not only Zak Snyder, did he go in for a meeting with James Gunn? Were they just talking as friends? Is he going to actually direct something? Who knows? But there is a new news, apparently, from the DCU that's supposed to come out soon following the press event that they had today. So we'll see if anything comes out of that. Well, we'll discuss that for sure. There's a lot of X-Men news. There's DC news. There's news as far as we talked about Daisy Ridley potentially being in one of these comic book movies. Well, it looks like it's maybe even closer to getting to Marvel. She'll probably be in MCU before she's even in Star Wars again. There's lots of other things to talk about on the show today. It's myself and Winston A. Marshall. Coy is off being cool. So we are going to have our show, Winston and I. Let's get into it, everybody. It is the Kristian Harloff Show, Capes and Cows. Let's do it. Welcome back to the Kristian Harloff Show here today. It's Capes and Cows, myself, and Winston A. Marshall. Winston, what's up?
Dude, I hate moving so much. We're still unpacking. As you can see, it's a disaster in here because we had to take care of it. Once the setup was good, I was like, the background can wait. We got to worry about the rest of the apartment. But I like the new place. That's the important part.
That is important for sure. And so that's the good news. If you want to know the bad news,
what's the bad news?
If you want to, what you have to catch up to today.
What do I have to? Oh God, it's like 300, isn't it?
It is actually 360 is what I found out yesterday. 360.
You're actually shitting me.
No, it is
360.
So Roxy and Roca hit 293 on Monday. We're like, well, there's no one's touching that. Well, Steph and Mike and Big Ball said, hold my beer. 362. That's the final from yesterday. 362.
Now what?
Yep. I don't know how they did that.
Impossible.
I know. So I don't know how it's. I mean, look, to start off the day, before we even pressed record, they were at 103 or something like that. So right now you're something like that. They were close to it. You're or maybe. You're at 14. So there we go.
I'm surprised people don't want to come and slam me for my thoughts on Captain America. That should get us 400 questions.
I'm sure. Yeah. Well, everybody. I mean, look, it comes and goes. People are gonna bitch about stuff, and that's it.
That is insane.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts. 362. So that is what you're looking at today, man. So you might as well. Oh, look, I said that to them yesterday. I said you might as well fold it up, and then they wound up winning. So you never know. Jesus. But and Roca and Roxy have no idea that on 293 that they lost. So
they don't know yet.
No, they have no idea. Well, they'll find out.
I hope one of them is watching and they already found out before the end of the week.
Yeah, none of you guys watch the show when you're not on it. Who? Come on.
That's not true. It just depends on the topic.
Fair enough. All right, so let's get into this topic. This is a good topic to discuss because I'm sure you saw this, Winston. This big event. And so yesterday, James Gunn posted this picture of him and Zak Snyder, and there's huge DC news is reportedly on the way following today's private press event. We don't have much to go on. Some big DCU-related news is reportedly set to hit the net next week following a private press event held at DC Studios today. Though the details are sketchy, we're hearing from a number of sources that some major DCU-related news is going to hit at some point next week, possibly even Monday. Apparently, it's a private press event and is taking place at DC Studios today. Online scoopers are currently scrambling to find out more. I assume that's what Coy's at today?
Oh, probably. That actually makes a lot of sense.
I would assume so, because that's why he's not here. But it sounds like there's something WBDC is determined to keep under wraps for a time being. The news could involve any number of future film or TV announcements. Thanks to the photo James Gunn shared on social media yesterday, speculation that it might have something to do with Zak Snyder taking the helm of an upcoming project. Whatever it is, the fact that a hush-hush press event is being held does indicate the news will be substantial. We'll be sure to keep you updated. For now, you can check out an impressive new fan poster for Superman featuring David Cornsweet's Man of Steel taking flight. There's the poster. Whee! Cool. So And there he is with the eyes that everyone loves. Okay. So I was going to talk about just the story of Snyder and Gunn at first, and then they talked about this press event, which I didn't even realize was happening, but it makes sense. There's a lot of different ways you can look at this picture that James Gunn tweeted out, right? The first is like, hey, look, I said he was my buddy. He's my buddy. We're friends. Everybody who keeps saying we want Snyder back, Snyder got ousted and there's beef and blah. We're not. There he is. It's my buddy. So shut your asses. Part one. Now there's a part of that also that says that's exactly what he said. Plus, hey, we have all this different stuff. We have, look at what we're doing with Sergeant Rock. That's kind of like, yeah, it's connected to the DCU, but not really. Swamp Thing is connected to the DCU, but it doesn't really need to be. Maybe Zack Snyder finds something like, hey, a new Zack Snyder movie that is an Elseworlds thing, or maybe it is connected to DC in the same way that Swamp Thing and Sergeant Rock kind of are, or because I don't even think they have a director right now for, what is it? Which one is it? Do they have? Oh, they have Sergeant Rock as Luca, and then I don't know. He's not right for that other one. So maybe it's just something that they're going to do together. But what do you make this? And do you think that the press event has anything to do with this at all?
I think the main thing here, there's always a possibility that Snyder's involved in a project, but I think the main thing here is to show, one, that they're friends, like that there's proof there, and two, I don't think it ever truly died down, the Snyder Bros wanting the Snyderverse back. And I think that this is kind of a way to be like, nah, look, y'all, we're good. Y'all should be good. I get that you maybe still want the stuff, but like everybody's good over here. So there's always a possibility that Zach comes and does a project and picks something back up there. But I think more than anything, this is just we have nothing but respect for Zach. We find Zach talented. We're all family here. In the club, we all like that shit. Right. You know what I mean? And I think that that's more what's going on.
I think that's part of it, but I think there's more to it. I think it's just too random to just do it out of nowhere. Especially when you're having this press event. If this press event wasn't happening, then I probably would have been more on that side of, look, he just posted out saying, look, he had lunch with his buddy and he's letting everybody know that, let's just speculate for a little bit and maybe he comes back, maybe he doesn't, but we're cool. As I said, we're cool. And that's it. And that's the stance I probably would have taken if I didn't see this press event. But the press event coupled with this picture, there might be more to it, and it's a big splash. Plus, rumors are rumors. I happen to think that Jeff Snyder is pretty tied into things. The thing that he talked about on Hot Mic, I don't know the full report of it, but it seems like the chat knows better than I do. But something along the lines that there's already some pushback with some of the directors who are working with Gunn about how involved he is and giving them notes on the projects in general, and then that's why they, I guess, lost some people along the way already. I don't know. But if that is indeed the case, then maybe he goes, look, Snyder knows how this thing works. I know what I need to do as far as it's a great PR move. And it is also depends on the project that he wants to do. I do not think it is anything Batman or Superman related, nor do I think it should be.
No, I think that is something that he probably is going to end up staying far away from. I could see a world, considering he, wanted to include the Martian Manhunter in a world. He wanted to include the Martian Manhunter going forward, that maybe if there's some project for that down the line, maybe he's involved in that. I'm sure a lot of it is sort of picking the brain of how to deal with stuff. And Zach obviously wasn't at this high a level of moving things around like a Feige, head of the comic book, whatever, but he still, a lot of what he was doing was influencing the other movies in the DCEU. So he still has some experience in this realm of being in this position. So it is very, very possible that you are going to throw him in to help helm something because you trust his ability. You've got that relationship. But I think that is more what you're talking about. I think that his counsel might be more what's going on here.
I think counsel you get you run into murky waters though too. It depends. It just depends on what if I'm James Gunn and I want to you still haven't watched Braveheart, but unite the clans. And if I want to do that, and I want to say, look, okay, Snyder fans, we get it. I like Snyder, you like Snyder. We're gonna have him back. Zach, here's a few of the Elseworlds thing. Here's a few of the one-offs. What do you want to do? And he's like, oh, I really want to do this. Great. And then they announce that they have a Zak Snyder project that they're doing. Now, what is not going to happen is the Snyder fans are going to go, all right, great. All's forgiven. We love it. We're good. You're the best. We like you now, James Gunn. They're going to go, no, see what he did? He should be back for everything. And then that's what's going to happen. But doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. I think you should definitely do it in general. So I don't know. I ask you guys out there, what do you make of this? You think this is legit? You think this is garbage? Put your thoughts in there and let us know. Winston, before we even get going, man, I'm sure you've been moving around a lot, and I know you got it. Yep.
I have to have it, bro.
Magic Mind. It is the best. We've talked about it in the show many, many times. It is clean energy, and it doesn't give you the jitters. And I'm not even going to talk about it just yet. I'm going to do one. And then they also have the sleep ones, which Winston got, and we were able to send a bunch to it. Just tell me about the sleep ones. Have you done? Because the energy here is great, and it keeps you focused, and I love it. And you guys have heard us talk about it.
I very much have been using them. They are absolutely fantastic. I'm the type of person, especially because of moving, all the editing that I have to do, things like that. I end up pulling a lot of late nights, and in doing so, I end up being pretty restless. It can be hard for me to get sleep and stuff like that.
Right.
These things are absolutely fantastic. You take them 30 minutes before, do it during your nightly routine. And I sleep like a baby through the night, man, and I feel refreshed as hell. It's really good.
I'm just so glad that I've been telling all my friends about Magic Mind. Brett keeps hitting me up about Magic Mind. It's the best. If you want to get 40% off of the Magic Mind bundle, you use my link, which is the first thing that you'll see, and it still has the password right now is KHGen, but hey, it doesn't matter, February, March, whatever it is. Just use that link right there, and you'll get 40% off, 45% off. It's really worth it. I love myself some Magic Mind. All righty. Now, I don't know if it was on this show, Winston, but we've been talking about, and maybe it was, I don't know if we've discussed Daisy Ridley at all, about if she was going to join whatever it was, whether it's, I think maybe with Roxy, but DC, Marvel, wherever we see her potentially landing. Well, it looks like she might land at Marvel. And so here's the actual rumor itself, and here it is. So the rumor is that actor Daisy Ridley is being eyed for a role in Spider-Man 4. Hey now. Okay. Daisy Ridley is best known for playing Rey Skywalker in the Star Wars sequel trilogy, but she could shoot a role in Marvel Studios' Spider-Man 4 before returning to that franchise. Spider-Man 4 doesn't appear to be taking shape quite as quickly as some fans would like. However, it remains on track for a July 2026 release. Tom Holland and Zendaya. Tom Holland? Sure. Tom Holland and Zendaya are already confirmed to star, and there are a lot of vague rumblings doing the rounds about everything from the villain to supporting cast. Of course, only time will tell whether we get another multiverse tale or a long overdue street level adventure. While we're advised taking this with a pinch of salt, my scooper, my time to shine. Hello today brings word that Marvel is considering Daisy Ridley for the role of Spider-Man 4. There's no word on who she could play, but at 32, she's only 4 years older than Holland, so could easily be a new love interest for the web slinger. Black Cat has been suggested by some fans on social media, while others make the case of Gwen Stacy or even Spider-Woman. While Ridley is gearing up for a return to Star Wars in 3037 with a new Jedi Order movie set after the events of The Rise of Skywalker, progress on that project is slow, I'd say. So she'd likely have to have time to film a role in Spider-Man 4 before production begins. In 2021, we spoke to Ridley about her role alongside Holland in Chaos Walking and asked about rumors at the time she'd be lined up to play Jessica Drew in Olivia Wilde's now scrapped Spider-Woman movie. She said, well, it's funny because someone asked me off the cuff about the Spider-Woman rumors recently, and I went, oh, that sounds great. Apparently, I've now declared myself a front runner to be a Spider-Woman, which isn't true. It's funny because I don't really choose things. I didn't set out to do another big film. I just read Cass' walking script. I loved it, and I loved the idea of it. Basically, we should something come along great, be open to anything. She said she just finished WandaVision. What they did with that is amazing and different and interesting, to be particular in the world, or yada yada. So she's talking. This is just old clips.
Sure.
Yeah. So now, whether or not she would be right for it, I'd love to see her in Spider-Man 4. I'm right now, and there's nothing against my time to shine. Hello. I'm taking those reports with a grain of salt right now because of that Mara Jade thing that I saw. And it's just not, it's not true. It's not true. So if that was the case, how do I know this is now? Everybody can be wrong time to time. The question is, I don't know. The comments can tell me if the track record is good or bad. But Daniel Rickman and Snyder, I'm still like, okay, let's see what they said. They seem to hit more than throwing everything against the wall. But you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I might be absolutely 100% wrong, and my time to shine hello might be more correct than not, just because there's a lot of stuff that they put out there. But nonetheless, let's say that this is factual. Sign me up. I love Daisy Ridley. I'd love to see Daisy Ridley in a Marvel movie. I'd like to see her something outside of Star Wars in a big budget thing. What was the other last big budget movie that she did besides Star Wars? I mean, she's been in a ton of smaller things, and she's great in that.
I mean, yeah, I think Star Wars might be the last major, huge budget thing that she's been a part of. I have no problem with her being in Marvel. I think she's a fantastic actress, and I think she'd be great. The one thing that is throwing me off, I really hope it's not Black Cat. It is a situation, specifically Black Cat, and I'm sure you understand this. That Black Cat is essentially Catwoman, and so, and it's even more so where she is like crazy, ridiculously like seductive and almost the other woman to Mary Jane at times and things like that. I'm not saying that Daisy Ridley isn't, hot and she isn't a beautiful woman, but I've never personally seen like the seductive side of her, and that's a lot that Felicia kind of brings.
Wait, I gotta be fair though. Like, you do this often when it comes to casting, but you base it off of one thing that they've done, and you go, "Well, I've never seen them do that." But that's what an actor does. They do different things.
I totally understand that, and if she goes in there and she crushes the audition, great. I'm just saying, if I'm just going off of previous work, stuff like that, I am not getting the seductress, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I feel like she can do it. I feel like she was another role where she was, I can't remember which role it was, where she played kind of a little bit more of a bad girl. And then even when they showed her in this, like the potential Sith evil thing that she was doing, I know there's a difference between evil and playing seductive for sure, but I feel like she will be able to do that. I think she's a very talented actress in general.
I think she is.
Yeah, and I that part of it doesn't concern me at all. I actually think she'd be perfect for that role.
I mean, look, I understand what you were saying on the flip side of whether or not that rumor is true one way or the other. I could lean more into believing that, just from the standpoint of Disney really does, once they've developed a relationship with people, they like moving them around to their various properties. So I actually can believe that, honestly, especially because it feels like whatever the Star Wars movie that she was supposed to star in is kind of now in a void. So that being said, I could see them being like, look, we're probably not going to necessarily get that done, or it's going to have to go on the back burner for a minute. Would you be interested in coming over and doing something with Marvel instead? I believe that. Like that I will go ahead and be like, sure, obviously it's just a rumor, but that would make logical sense to me. So then I was latching on to more who she would play. Yeah. I think having her play a Jessica Drew would be dope. I think even her playing potentially a Gwen Stacy would be good, though. Like you said, Mara Jade is kind of the front runner for that, so probably not.
But wait, say that again.
I thought you said Mara Jade was the front runner for Gwen Stacy right now.
No, Mara Jade is a character in Star Wars, and Mara Jade is a.
Okay, no. Then there was an actress. There was an actress that was.
There was a rumor. There was a rumor for Gwen Stacy, and I don't remember who it was, but yeah, no, okay. I said that the Mara Jade thing, that there was. I'm pretty sure it was My Time to Shine. Who said that there was a Mara Jade television show being developed?
Oh, not true. Okay. Like I said, I've been unfortunately a little off Star Wars for a while, so Mara Jade, I didn't know, but right. Okay, yeah. But that's it. I will give you the credit of, I didn't see Robert Pattinson as Batman, and then he crushed it. So there is definitely a world where Daisy gets the role, does it, and crushes it, and then I'm eating crow yet again. I guess what I'm saying is there are already people that I could see in mind playing Felicia Hardy. She is not the first one that would pop into my head, and there are other characters I think she would fit pretty well within the universe.
Yeah, I'd like to see her play off type. That's another reason why too. I always like the same reason I wanted to see Henry Cavill play Doom. I want to see, and he's played a villain before, obviously Mission Impossible, but I thought, but he's not. When you think of him, you think of him as the hero. Especially after the Superman stuff. Okay, so the other thing you and I have talked about at great length on this show about how we thought Angela Bassett should have won for Best Actress. Well, guess who else thinks she should have won? Her. I love this honesty. You never see it, and I love to see this honesty. Angela Bassett reflects on losing the Oscar for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. She said, "I thought I was deserving. I think everybody thought you were deserving, Miss Bassett." Black Panther Wakanda Forever star Angela Bassett has reflected on losing the Best Actress Oscar to Jamie Lee Curtis in 2023, admitting that she felt deserving of the prestigious award. Check it out.
Wait, real quick, because I think that's already then they messed up a little bit on their report, because wasn't it Best Supporting Actress? If I remember correctly, because it was Stephanie, Jamie, Angela.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it would make sense because she wasn't the lead, neither was Jamie Lee Curtis. For his role as Queen Ramonda in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Instead, the award went to Jamie Lee Curtis. The decisions baffled movie lovers, with the prevailing theory being that the Academy didn't take Bassett's performance seriously because it was a VFX-laden comic book movie produced by Marvel Studios. Talking to Town and Country magazine, the actor recalled her stoic reaction to Curtis going viral on social media and addressed both the loss and the online commentary that followed. She said, "I found it interesting that I wouldn't be allowed to be disappointed to an outcome where I thought I was deserving. I love applauding people, but in that moment, no." I love that. I love
that's my queen.
I love that. I have put in the time, put in the good work over time. I didn't think that was a gift. I thought it was a given. I love that answer. I love it. No, it's not an entitled answer at all. I don't think so. Someone said entitled. I couldn't disagree more. But you always talk about want to see people be honest and not fake. It's like the human emotion. It's just it was such,
on top of the fact that she did it classy. Like it wasn't like, nah, that bitch didn't deserve that. She was like, look, I support everybody, but I worked.
I disagree so much. Selfish and prideful. Not even close. Not even close. You are wrong, sir. Bassett was deserving, and honestly, it should have been a given following her powerful, moving performance in the Black Panther sequel, acknowledging that an actor in a Marvel blockbuster delivered an award-worthy turn. May have been a step too far for the snobbish Academy, of course. Talking to Oprah last year about losing the Oscar, she said, "I was gobsmacked. I thought I had handled it very well. That was my intention, to handle it very well. It was, of course, a supreme disappointment, and disappointment is human. So I thought, yes, I was disappointed, and I handled it like a human being. 100%. I agree with that. Absolutely. It was very classy.
It was incredibly classy. And I'll tell you, that win made zero sense to me for Jamie Lee Curtis. She was the third best in that category. It honestly could have been a toss-up between Angela Bassett or Stephanie. I can't pronounce HSU. I can never. Is it Sue?
From what?
Yeah, from Everything Everywhere as well. The daughter.
I thought Jamie was better.
Oh no way! The daughter crushed. Either one of them, in my opinion, were more the right answer for that. And I'll be honest with you, what the Oscars have a tendency to do is they have a tendency sometimes in these wins to give legacy wins. Now, that doesn't mean that Jamie wasn't fantastic. She deserved to be nominated. Like she deserved to be on that run with the rest of the nominees. But like I think about when Leo finally won his Oscar, I felt The Revenant was one of his lesser performances, but he deserves an Oscar. Like he could have won it for The Departed. He could have won it. I
feel like that was like Denzel. Denzel deserved it for Hurricane, not Training Day.
Exactly. Or didn't he not win for Malcolm X as well? And I feel like he deserved it for that too. They have a tendency to do these kind of like in the way you see in sports, the makeup call. Oh, you missed the pass interference. So then all of a sudden you're like, well, here, I'll give you this one a little bit later. That's kind of what that felt like to me. And again, it's not that Jamie isn't a fantastic actress and hasn't deserved it in her career previously, but I'm just like, I don't know, man. That's if we focus more on Angela, I love just the pure honesty here. She has put an incredible career of performances together, from Tina Turner to this to all the things.
I like the honesty of it, where she's like, listen, so I'm not going to pretend that I was like, no, I was looking off at something else. I was fine. She didn't say that when other people would be like, no, look, I was bummed. I thought I was going to win it. I didn't. You caught me in a human moment. I didn't boo Jamie Lee Curtis. I wasn't thrilled about it. You caught me in a human moment, and I was disappointed. I thought I was deserving of the performance. I thought I was going to get it, and I didn't. And they caught me in the moment where I was bummed. I love that response. I love that response. I don't love this whole thing where like, well, no, tradition says that if the camera's on you, you have to go. and it's bullshit. It's not real. It's not real. This is a real answer. She didn't say Jamie Lee Curtis doesn't deserve to win. She's like, no, I was bummed. I thought I did enough that I was going to get it. And I loved the answer. I did. I loved the answer.
And again, when I say didn't deserve, I'm not like I said, Jamie deserved to be in that conversation. I just think that if you're giving me the 5 actors you put up, in my opinion, she was number 3 out of the 5. She was not number 1 for me. That's how I feel. Yeah. But
that's how I felt. Look, I would have booed if I was in the audience when and I love Mark Rylance when he beat Sylvester Stallone in Creed. That performance should not have beaten Stallone's performance in Creed. That was Stallone's best performance that he's ever given. And it's the same thing. He's winning every other award everywhere else, and then they gave it to Rylance because I think it's the same type of thing that happened. You can't give it to Stallone. It's like I'm telling you, man. The Oscars, I stand by it. The Oscars are a joke. Like they really are
political. They're at that point now. They're at that point now where they're very similar to the Grammys, where it's like you're just kind of doing whatever.
Well, that's what I was telling people, dude. I had this whole thing, and people were like, it's not about a popularity contest, to which I never said it was about popularity. So it's about awareness and other things, but it's also they don't vote on what's the best movies, and this is the best proof of that is this year, because they are going to, because let's say they all thought Emilia Perez was the best movie, right? There's no world where that movie is going to win now, because of all the controversy that's around it. But even if they all thought it was what?
It depends on when the vote went through. Like when was the final vote?
The shit went down already. The shit went down and the vote hadn't gone in yet. Okay, so the vote still hasn't gone in yet. So the vote still hadn't gone in yet. So anyway, point is that they wouldn't have been like, oh, it doesn't matter. I still love that movie. Like, no, we can't vote for that now. And it's like, and it's the same thing with Brutalist. It's like, okay, AI, but I liked it. I don't know what to do. And it's like it's not about the best movie. It's about what will look the best. What will make us look the most prestigious? And it's like I'm telling you, I say it again, and I stand by it. The Critics' Choice Awards. Look at the winners. John M. Chu, who's not even nominated for the Oscars, won. Yeah, there's a lot of different people who won like that. Telling you, Critics' Choice Award should be the premier one moving forward from now on.
Yeah, it's the problem is, in the same way that, again, to bring it back to sports for 30 seconds, Cowboys unfortunately are still America's team, and they certainly haven't played like it in 3 decades. Like that, there's just a level of branding there that's going to be hard to get rid of.
Yeah, I know.
And I don't think the Oscars or the Grammys will ever get rid of that branding, because they've just solidified themselves. But the last thing I'll say, I mean, the easiest thing to look at to prove your point of what you're talking about. Do you remember? I want to say it wasn't last year, but the year before. It was the same year that Angela and Jamie and Stephanie were all up for stuff. Was the year that article came out of the anonymous voters being like, oh yeah, no, they're not Oscar people yet, so I'm not voting for that person. Like, there's some young kid or whatever.
It's a highfalutin club. That's what it is. It's a highfalutin club, and it's not run by the people that actually see all the movies. It's just because it holds legacy, like you said.
I still hated the fact that one woman, for that random performance that had like $100 at the box office, but all her friends went caping for her.
I disagree with that. You're talking about Andrea Riseborough. You didn't see the movie. She was absolutely deserving. That was a narrative. That was a narrative that pissed me off, because I saw that movie.
What was the name of the movie? I'm trying to remember the year.
Shoot. It was Andrea Riseborough. She was on the show, and I watched it. I forget if I saw the name of it. You go.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, but let's see. I'll tell you right now. Probably someone just letting us know. But that's the thing that, and there's no offense to you, but you just did what all of Twitter did, and it pissed me off. It pissed me off.
Okay.
It's like, because and Roku did the same thing. All of her friends wanted her to get nominated, and she had high people in place, and they got her nominated, and no one saw the movie. The movie was fantastic, and her performance was fantastic. To Leslie was the name of the movie. Thank you. And she was. I thought, and I'll go one step further, and I said it on Campia Show when I was on it. She should have won. She was so good. She wound up losing to, I think, what's her face? Oh my God! No, not Naomi Watts. It was Kate Blanchett. She lost to Kate Blanchett, who was in the Composer movie, whatever the freaking thing was. But either way, and it does look, and it contradicts at least my point too. The thing is, with that was a point where the only reason that she got nominated was because people spoke up about how good the performance was, but there wasn't enough awareness behind it, and that was the whole thing. She was that, but
no,
she
see, no. See, I you're right. I didn't see it. This is the same year that we were talking about with Angela Bassett and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Okay.
Michelle Yeoh definitely deserved that Oscar. Come on now. Even without me seeing it,
you won.
I know.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. You said that Riseborough should have taken it.
I think Riseborough had a deeper performance. Yeah, I do. You didn't see the movie though, so how do you know?
Which is fair, but I saw the other four, and
so
there's always so then I guess my follow-up question is, again, I get a lot of it is the campaigning and stuff like that. She wasn't nominated on a single other award, period.
Yes, she was.
To my knowledge, she wasn't for the Golden Globe. She
wasn't
for
the
SAG award.
No, but it was look, and this is what we said beforehand. The Oscars is 100% about campaigning, and this isn't just smaller movies too. These are the big movies. It's about campaigning, getting the word out there, getting people to understand what your movie is, and inside the community to get it nominated. And so, she made a big push at the end. That's what she did. So, but I guess someone said she wasn't. I thought she was nominated for SAG. Maybe
nope.
I'm wrong.
I'm looking at it right now. So it was the Oscars. Film festivals, the Chicago Films Critics.
She didn't win. She didn't get nominated for SAG. Are you sure?
No. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, the point is, I still think that the reason I bring up the Critics' Choice is I just think these are people who see everything, and that's who should be voting on stuff. But anyway, all right. Now, before we get some more topics, a lot of different topics. There's some cancellations of some shows that were supposed to get going and not going to happen, including some roles that were supposed to happen. So we'll discuss that. But before we do, I got to tell you guys about two of our wonderful sponsors, both Robinhood and HelloFresh. Tell you about both of them. Here you go. Robinhood Gold. With Robinhood Gold, you can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions. The privileges of the very privileged are no longer exclusive. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%. Plus, you also get 4% APY on your cash in non-retirement accounts. That's over 8 times the national savings average. The perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive your 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rate subject to change. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Over 8 times the national average savings account. Interest rate claim is based on data from the FDIC as of November 18th, 2024. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC. I'll tell you, eating healthier has been getting easier for me. HelloFresh, it's the best. I just am tired of figuring out over and over and over what's for dinner every night. What's for dinner, especially on the busy weekends. You just get dinner done easy thanks to HelloFresh. It's got a new read-made meal going right from the fridge to your fork in just 3 minutes. It is high-quality ingredients and restaurant-worthy flavor that you expect from HelloFresh, just with none of the work. You can save valuable time with fewer trips to the grocery store thanks to the HelloFresh Market. There's over 100 add-on items that you can add to your weekly box, like quick breakfast, packable snacks, beverages, and more. They are the best. I just love having them, and it's so convenient for me because I have a busy schedule, and HelloFresh makes it easy. You can get up to 10 free meals and a free high-protein item for life at HelloFresh.com/HelloFreshPodcast. 1 item per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on the first box. New subscribers only, varies by plan. That's up to 10 free HelloFresh meals. You got to go to HelloFresh.com. HelloFresh podcast. It is highly encouraged. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. All right. Who's been signing up? Tell me now. I got to know. Why? Because you help out the show and you help yourself out. You get something great. I've been telling you that forever. So links in the description. Show a little. All right.
Quick question or like a little addendum. So I just wanted to make sure I was right on this. So yeah, she was not nominated for the SAG Awards. It was Michelle Yeoh, Cate Blanchett, Viola Davis, Ana de Armas, and Danielle Deadwyler.
Yeah, that was the one that they said. That was the big one, is that they thought that she pushed Viola Davis out. That's from
that was the narrative. But then my follow-up question is, you were also just saying as part of your argument with a lot of these awards, it's like you said, the kind of highfalutin, it's like, where are you kind of pulling this from? It came literally out of left field. So it kind of falls in the category of what you're saying of like, now it does feel like the elites were kind of like, hey.
I don't think that argument is not sound, because it's like, well, the reason she played by the rules, even though people were like, oh, did she play by the rules? She did. But it's almost like when baseball didn't have a salary cap, and the Yankees just keep spending. And it's like, yeah, well, I played by the rules, did what I was supposed to do. I did what I could do. And it's like, yeah, I reached out to my friends who were a part of it, and they tweeted it out and they told people about it, and they got more notice on it. And I got nominated, because you still got to get nominated if your performance is good. And it's just like, people didn't know about the movie. And then they said, oh, well, I didn't even know what this movie is. Oh, well, thanks for telling me about it. I'll vote for her. She was great. And they should have probably done that a lot sooner. But nonetheless. All right. Let's get to this story, because there's a ton of things that were scrapped. Pick up the scraps. Henry Cavill's role in Marvel Studios has been scrapped. The Nova TV series. That's what the hell? Who cares? Man of Steel, Witcher star Henry. That's a stupid title. Man of Steel star The Witcher. I can't say anything. Man of Steel star The Witcher. I didn't need that magic mind to kick in. Man of Steel and The Witcher star Henry Cavill was recently rumored to be in the running for a role in Marvel Television's Nova, and we now have news on who the British actor was eyed to play. Earlier this week, shared a rumor that Justice League star Henry Cavill was being eyed for a role in Marvel Studios' Nova. We say was because yesterday evening the news broke that Disney Plus series has been shelved. It may be revisited somewhere down the line, but Nova in its current form has essentially been scrapped. It's a disappointing decision, especially after rumors that the show was going to introduce us to the Fantastic Four villain Annihilus for an adaptation of the classic Annihilation story. According to Insider, My Time to Shine Hello again, Cavill was being eyed to play that iconic baddie in Nova. Last year, he appeared in Deadpool and Wolverine as Logan variant, and Nihilus would have marked quite the departure for an actor used to playing heroes like Superman and Geralt of Rivia. Presumably, this was going to be a motion capture role, allowing Cavill to show a completely new side of himself. His villainous role in Mission Impossible remains one of his best. We can't believe Marvel Studios wants to risk losing him, so perhaps another MCU character will come his way with the mutant saga on the horizon. Shortly after the trades were on Nova, Strange Academy, and Terror Inc. being paused, Daniel Rickman posted a breakdown of what he heard, and it was in the comics. I don't know, yada. Anyway, so these series were scrapped yesterday, and when Mike and I talked about it, I said I think it's a good idea that they're scrapping these shows. I think that it was just what's his face, Bob Chapek, just handing out shows and trying to get Marvel is just as much take more, and it's like basically franchising a restaurant and you lose the quality of the restaurant.
Sure.
And I think that that's what happened. And no more TV shows. Marvel and Star Wars, they started off good with the TV shows, and then they've just been Daredevil is a good show to put on television, obviously from its success in the past, but maybe one a year. But I don't give a shit about a Nova show. I don't care about this other stuff that was supposed to come out. I don't care. And I think you need people to care, because the thing that has not been true is, well, you don't need to watch these shows in order to know what's going on in the movies. If your movies are still your most important, focus on your movies.
Yeah, I disagree with the idea of getting rid of TV.
Not all together. I said one a year.
I think you go. I think you should do 2 shows and then like 2 like holiday specials. So like the way you did Werewolf by Night, give me one of those around Halloween, and then the way you did like Guardians holiday special, give me one of those. But then
Sure.
otherwise, give me a show about the top of the year in the spring, and maybe one late summer, or early fall, and let that be it. Because you're right. I think what the issue was, we were excited about it at first, where it was like, bro, we're getting WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier, and we're gonna get Loki, and we're gonna get this, and we're gonna get that. And it did at a certain point become too much to try and keep up with. I was enjoying it, but as the quality started to dip and you were getting very hit or miss, I think you do focus your energy. That being said, specifically with this project, that does bum me out because the Nova Corps is interesting. Again, this is kind of like the Green Lanterns of Marvel in that regard.
Mhm.
I didn't love the idea of Henry Cavill as an eyeless. I do like the idea of him as a villain. Obviously, we both were on the same page that we would have loved to see him as Doom. But there's some other stuff you could potentially put him up for. Annihilus was not necessarily on my list of characters that I would have necessarily seen him play personally. I kind of want to see him, if not a Doom type character, give him an almost Kingpin-esque character, somebody that feels intimidating, not even necessarily because it's like I have these crazy powers, I can blow up the planet like an inverse Superman. Like just the idea of him just being intimidating by just being Henry Cavill, that seems more interesting to me personally.
Yeah, I would much rather them wait. There's 2 things. One, he was rumored also to be in Star Wars. I'd like to see him in Star Wars. I'd like to see what they're going to do in Star Wars if they're able to right that ship. I still have it's like you being a Cowboys fan and me being a Giants fan. Our fingers are crossed that they're going to right the ship, right?
I'm so off them right now, bro.
Yeah, but that's this is a perfect example. Yep. The way you feel about the Cowboys right now is the way I feel about Star Wars right now, right? You're never going to give up on them.
No.
You're never going to, but you're just so over them right now.
Bro, I used to have the full calendar schedule of like it's this game at this time, so I know I need to move my work shift around so I can sit around and watch the game. If it's on now, I'll let it be on in the background. I am so drained by what they've done to my spirit.
I know. And that's literally how I feel about what they're doing with Star Wars. So I'm like, but I'm hoping look, but here's the Cavill situation. You get a good player on the team, and you're like, okay, can they do anything for the team? It's like it's still management. Management still got to use them the right way. But let's see if but it's still a good player. So that's what I'm curious about. And like I said, my buddy Derek Hoffman's over there now too. VP over there, and he's very, very talented. He's one of us. He's a fan. He knows the business very, very well. He's worked on many X-Men things. He's if utilized the right way, he can help. I hope that he will, and I hope that this is the kind of stuff that we start to see. There's more, but you don't want to dilute the product.
What if? Because we still got
season
Marvel
3 or
stuff.
Season 2?
No. Just a thought here, because I've been sitting here while you've been talking, trying to think of characters that Henry Cavill could play, and I still like the idea of him being a villain. What if he's the next Doc Ock, bro? Because he's already shown his nerd element. He loves to build PC stuff like that. Doc Ock has this thing of trying to be intimidating. What
Apocalypse?
Apocalypse isn't a bad choice either. I just don't want to jump right into Apocalypse already.
But that's what I'm saying. They don't have to jump in. Like if he's in the Disney family and he goes to Star Wars and shoots whatever movie, I think he'll do Mangold's movie or Sean Levy's movie or whatever. But that will come out first before his X-Men thing. I think. Look, I am at this point, and because Steph and myself and Mike all said the same thing, and I think an audience member brought it up, which is a fair concern, and I think a lot of us echo it. Especially after watching the MCU right now with Sam again and leading up the way that they just planted the seeds to get to Endgame, that you're so invested. These new Avengers movies, there's just not enough time for them to be able to invest the same way. It's just impossible. So I want this multiverse thing to be done with. I want it to be over. I think most people do. They joked about it in Deadpool. I'm bored with it. It's not working. Maybe they have a good conclusion to it and they can end it really well, but it's fairly boring and it hasn't really been impactful. I think Kevin Feige's over it. I think that he wants to get to X-Men, and it's like, if you're starting to cast for all your stuff, put him in X-Men. We've seen 1,000 different Spider-Man villains and Spider-Man this. You do Spider-Man 4 and you put it to bed, and let's take care of the X-Men for the next 10 years.
I mean, that's not a bad idea. Like, especially if Fantastic Four hits, put the two of them together, let them run things. You still have others going on, but they become your two cornerstone pieces, and that's where you kind of move,
Yeah.
Especially because I think the thing that we really need to build towards, truthfully, going forward, is Avengers versus X-Men. It is one of the most interesting storylines. It really does take everything that you're thinking of. If X-Men, the whole thing is about, the discrimination that they deal with, where humans are treating them like freaks and second-class citizens and all that. And then you have a situation where, the Avengers are supposed to be friends of the X-Men. We're all superheroes together trying to save the world. And then it's like, this is a problem that we're dealing with, that we need your support. And the Avengers are like, nah, we can't do that. It's too much of a risk. And so then you have almost another Civil War type riff. Now you can do Civil War on a grander scale of, here are all of the characters just bashing each other's heads in. Like, it's really good.
Who's your Avengers, though, that you're going to, again, that have earned it? I mean, like, Sam hasn't even taken ownership or leadership yet of the Avengers, and we want to see if he's going to be able to do that. Who the hell are the Avengers? Spider-Man.
To that point, one of the main elements for sure in that is, and that is where things get a little rough, are Tony and Steve, and specifically with Steve, the idea that he is supposed to be, the Sentinel of Liberty, and he is supposed to be the one that stands up for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And he does not stand up for the mutants the way that they need to be stood up for. And so Cyclops gets real salty about, like, I thought you were supposed to be a leader amongst men, and you're out here in these streets letting us flounder. So F you. So there is a level of, you almost kind of need them back in that, and I get that. But Civil War wasn't the comic series, which was a much grander thing, and they figured out how to make it work for the movies with the smaller cast compared to what it is.
Yeah,
they can figure it out, honestly.
Can they? I mean, because that's but it's not as easy. Look, if you would have said that to me in 2018, they can figure it out. I'd be like, yeah, probably, because they're figuring it every time they put something out. You're like, okay, all right, it's working. I know the story's going. It's not the case right now. It's like, can they figure it out? Like, I think that they even got to a place where they're like, they didn't even know. Remember, Sam Raimi was rumored to direct the Avengers and all this, and then they eventually said, I don't know what to do. We should go back to the Russos, because I remember them asking the Russos, like, no one called us. And then it's like the Russos are coming back. They're like, we don't know what to do. We got to get the Russos. What else do we do? Call Downey. It's like they don't know what to do.
No, I 100% get that. I think the reason why I think they can figure it out is, again, I think Feige is so in love with the X-Men. He is not going to let this baby fail. I think that part of what happened was, like you said, you had a mix of Chapek, and I think Feige was probably getting overworked and a little bit burnt out, and I think that was kind of what was happening.
You're talking about the X-Men. The X-Men, I think that is gonna be fine. I'm talking about leading up to figuring out the X-Men. Yeah, they're gonna figure that out. I'm talking about leading up to. They already talked about X-Men versus Avengers.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know who the Avengers are, and we don't. Nobody knows who the Avengers are. Leading up to this big, huge thing, it's like, well, all we know is now that Sam's gonna lead them. But who are they?
They have to be put back together. That's what I think. But I think that is kind of, it, while an important keystone of said movie, it was one of the things that I was like, okay, yeah, the future's important, but let's focus on the right now. I'm like, thank you for teasing that, but let's focus on what we're talking about right now.
Who's your Avengers right now? Despite Spider-Man.
Okay, so it would be Sam. Probably Shang-Chi, but we don't know where he at.
5 years.
We don't know where he at. I guess technically Ant-Man around there somewhere.
And he'll probably die. Yeah.
I guess Doctor Strange still exists. He's around. Right.
But he was never an Avenger. He was never an Avenger.
Yeah, he was by the end of Endgame.
I mean, he helped the Avengers, but he wasn't officially an Avenger.
Sure. I mean, look, Hulk is still around. He brought his son back, his goofy ass looking son with the balding and shit.
There's no world they're bringing that guy back. No
Not
world.
Scar. You're not,
No,
you're not bringing the son
chance.
back, but you still
No
got.
chance.
But Bruce is around, so we're not. Thor is around. He's raising a kid, so there's that. I mean, they're there.
I guess you really look. You really have to say like, hey guys, like, I guess you can get Thor and
But that's the whole point.
And like, because do you bring back Scarlet Witch? I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess you could. I guess you could.
We got White Vision. He coming like they're around, bro. They're just
right. But
you see my point, on vacation,
dude. That movie is a year and a half away.
I know.
We don't know who they are.
So here's the thing. I think that is honestly what, between the Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four, I think that is a lot of what they are going to help.
I'm sure, but you've got to do, and you got to be careful that that's not what your movie is, right? Because like
Daredevil, he'll probably be in the Avengers.
Maybe.
I think you're going to have to. I think you're going to have to.
I guess. Yeah. It's really interesting. I was going to jump to a different story, but I want to go. I want to get to. We just mentioned the Captain America thing, and there's something else there. Where is it? The director, talked about that end credit scene. And where is it? I'm gonna find it. Shoot.
Oh, and Captain America.
Yeah, there was. He talked about how it was basically because it was kind of a controversial ending scene, but he said it was part of the reshoots. I can see if I can find that one. Because he was talking a lot. He was talking about how he got Liv Tyler back. He was talking about just reshoots in general. While I look for that, let's bring this one up. This is speaking of X-Men, because we'll transition into that. X-Men. Marvel Studios is rumored to be developing an Academy X live action series. Marvel put 3 of its prospective Disney Plus shows on the back burner earlier, but we're now hearing that the studio will be moving forward with an X-Men based series. Earlier today, we got word that Marvel Studios has shelved or at least paused development on 3 planned Disney Plus series: Nova, Terra Inc., and Strange Academy. Marvel is said to have shifted its priorities, and we're hearing that one of the projects the studio may be focusing on involves very different type of academy. During this week's episode of the Hot Mic, Jeff Schneider mentions that a source told him that an X Academy series is in the early planning stages. In the comics, the Academy X students debuted in the pages of New X-Men number 23 and were basically introduced as yet another incarnation of the New Mutants. The original lineup consisted of Noel Armor, the Kaku triplets, Dust, Elixir, Prodigy, Pixie, and Rockslide. Sure. Some fairly obscure characters, especially for non-X-Men comic readers, but this show wouldn't necessarily stick with the exact group. There are a number of young mutant heroes from the various X-themed comics that could take a spot on the team. Marvel is said to be planning quite a few big and smaller screen projects for the upcoming mutant era, so a streaming show focused on a teenage students in training would make sense. As for the elusive X-Men reboot, Marvel does seem to be making moves behind the scenes. No directors attached, but the amount of casting rumors from various reliable sources doing the rounds would seem to be indicate that the studio is quietly assembling the new lineup. Okay, so I just want to say this because I've been saying this for years, and everyone gave me pushback on it. And I said that, yes, you got to start and you got to have a big X-Men movie, but the way that you're going to continue the Marvel Cinematic Universe is to have side X-Men projects, whether it's a standalone Cyclops movie, whether it's a standalone Wolverine movie, whether it's an offshoot of a TV show with other X-Men. It looks like they're doing that. Yeah. It looks like that's what they're going to try to do, because that's your universe. That is your universe moving forward, is the X-Men. You have so much potential there. So, as I said to you before, I still believe in TV shows, but I believe in doing them strategically. This is strategic. This is part of your plan moving forward. This focuses on the X-Men. This to me makes more sense. Get rid of the side characters and stuff. We're focusing on the X-Men. Let's go all in on the X-Men. Let's do it this way. And then we set up these side characters that if they hit, great, we can throw a couple of them in some movies. If they don't, we at least have our series and we can do whatever we want. And then we move on to the next series. So I think this is actually a very smart move.
I think it's a smart move too. I know the one thing that I always push back on you was I didn't like the idea of starting with like a Cyclops movie.
No, I don't think you should start with one. I think you start with you should start with
the team,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
if you want to do your spin-offs, then I'm totally here for it, and we
yeah.
can get more in depth with them. What they were kind of trying to do with Fox, that started with what X-Men Origins Wolverine and X-Men Origins Magneto was on the table, and X-Men Origins Wolverine was so bad they scrapped the Magneto story and took some of those elements to put into First Class to focus on Eric there. But yes, I think that is the way to go. Do you know, various shows and things like that. If that's how you want to focus on, like, you know, Alpha Flight, if that's how you want to focus on like Captain Britain, and the whole, and you know, the Braddocks, and how now Psylocke is involved. If that's how you want to kind of really give Bishop an ability to shine, is like, hey, this is what he's dealing with in the future, and then he time travels back, and then maybe the end of a season leads into the next X-Men film where he's had to come back in time and, you know, stop an assassination or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are all things that you could do in that regard. I think that will work.
Just think people are like, I think they're trying to, and I understand why, but they're race to the finish line, put those 2 Avengers movies on, get to the X-Men, let's put it all to bed.
You were 1,000% doing what you can to get everybody out your house at the party so you can start cleaning up and get back to business.
Yeah, and start and you're prepping for a new party that none of these people are invited to.
Some of them are. The cooler guests are. The rest of y'all got to get the F out.
You'll get a ticket when it's time. But you, what, She-Hulk? No, you're done.
She'll be back. The show's done. I guarantee you. I guarantee you, Tatiana will be back. Yeah.
But she should be. She should be, because she was great. She was great. It just, I think she was.
So was Madison. Madison was the only other shining light for me.
The
drunk girl with Wong.
Stop.
That shit was hilarious to me.
No, stop it.
That was hilarious to me.
Stop it. All right. Captain America: Brave New World. Director explains the divisive post-credit scene and confirms it was from reshoots. If you didn't see this movie yet, and you really care about being spoiled, then I would say jump out right here, because we're going to cover it. Okay, you've been warned. I don't think anybody gives a shit. Captain America: Brave New World. The director, Julius Ona, has explained why the movie has only one post-credit scene and confirms it was filmed during reshoots last year. Be warned that spoilers follow. In Captain America: Brave New World's sole post-credit scene, Sam Wilson visits the leader in the raft and receives a vague warning about a multiversal threat and the others coming to Earth 616. Even mainstream media outlets have deemed it Marvel Studios' worst post-credit scene. Have they not seen the ant on the drums? Meanwhile, the response from fans have been mixed to negative at best. A shame, seeing as an Avengers Doomsday tease should have blown everybody's minds. Talking to Collider, Captain America: Brave New World director Julius Ona explained that it was always the plan to forgo a mid-credit scene in preference of a single Cap-centric final tease. It was always the case that we felt organic for this movie was just leading into a post-credit sequence that could tease what's coming next. We wanted to tease it in a way that didn't become too explicit. This is about introducing Sam as our new Cap. That was the overreaching focus of this movie. So to start throwing in too many post-credit sequences just felt like it was going to stray away from that. Even the tease we have is still very Sam-centric. In case it wasn't obvious from the leader's redesign in the sequence, Ona confirmed it was filmed during Captain America: Brave New World's reshoots. Those took place last year and potentially before the design was made, aka when the first movie was shot. Let's see, it was before the decision was even made to make Robert Downey Jr. as Doom, explaining why the leader could have been talking about anyone or anything. That was shot during our additional photography. That's what I mean about all this is planned ahead of time. We didn't know what our post-credit scene was going to be just yet. As you know, there was a massive writer strike, so that meant it was pencils down, not just on this movie, but pencils down on everything in film and TV. Nothing was happening. So who knew what Thunderbolts was going to look like necessarily, or the next Avengers was going to look like? So when we got out of that strike, we were actually able to put pen to paper for Brave New World, and everybody else was able to put pen to paper for their movies. That's when you can actually start to have a real conversation as to where things are going and what post-credit sequence is the appropriate one to tease. So that's how it evolved. It's hard to believe that Marvel Studios couldn't come up with something better than this for Captain America: Brave New World. Then again, without a completed script for Doomsday, might have been easier said than done. Thunderbolts tease might have ultimately been for the best. You can do a new post. You can look at the new poster. Yeah. So yeah, I don't like any. I had nothing against the director. Seems like a nice enough guy. Every interview has been like deflecting rocks and but still getting pelted in the head every time. Like you're trying to catch it and the rock's just hitting you right in the face because we didn't do a lot of reshoots. Oh yeah. We didn't do any. That's part of the reshoots. What? And then and then the other side. Well, we thought like two post credit scenes would be too much. Have you not seen one of the other ones where they always do two and then they just basically put a trailer or a scene from the next movie? Like I think that Ant-Man 1 had a scene from Civil War at the end of it for the post credit thing.
Yes.
Yeah, it was when they had Bucky tied up and he's like, I know a guy.
The end of Captain America, the first Avenger, had the Nick Fury talking to Steve when he woke up out of the coma,
right?
Doing the
from Avengers, right?
Yeah.
Right. That's like there was two scenes, and it's like so you can stick that in there. That look, he's protecting the shield, and I understand that, but the movie was handled all the way around very sloppily, and they could have. And as far as why they could have, of course they could have shot a post credit scene that was going to be relevant to the Avengers a month ago and stuck it in the damn movie at the end. They could have stuck anything in there. They could have said, hey, we're going to shoot one post-credit scene. It'll take us, if it's somebody sitting around or whatever it is, it'll take us 2 days to shoot it, 3 days to shoot it. And then we're going to
take that same scene. You could have taken the same scene, and we know that these Fantastic Four members are from a different universe. Right. And he could have been like, I've seen things that you don't even know. There's other things that are coming. And then you could see his computer screen, and they're like maybe the Fantastic Four symbol is just sitting there. That by itself would have been like that would have done something. Instead, it was like, you have no idea what's coming next. It'll be coming, but you have no idea what it'll be. But it'll be a thing.
Right. Yeah. It was like, there's multiverse things you don't even know. The multiverse. You remember the multiverse that everyone doesn't like? The multiverse. There's so much multiverse. That all these multiverse all over the multiverse. And there's so many different villains. So watch these villains. They're going to multiverse all over the place. Oh my God. Is that multiverse person multiverse in that multiverse? Oh my God. I think that person's pregnant.
Oh my God. Oh my God, bro. That is
not great.
It's that was the thing. It literally nothing happened. So don't show anything.
And right. Or a trailer. Or a trailer. Even when they did that freaking what the hell movie was that? It was one of the X-Men movies when they showed a trailer for like a Marvel thing. MCU. I can't remember what it was.
Shit, you know what? Because he keeps showing up. Show the damn Watcher in the sky. Just show Sam just like practicing with the shield or being like, I gotta be better next time. And then the Watcher is watching. That would have been enough.
But he's in his bathrobe with a remote control. That would be good. All right. We got one more story and we'll get to the questions. Let's do this one. Clayface. Would you call me? DC Studios officially lists Speak No Evil director James Watkins to helm. This. I like what I know that they have a full vision of what they want to do here. We now have confirmation that Speak No Evil James Watkins will take the helm of DC Studios' Clayface movie alongside with some new details on the project. Mark Cassidy says, we have heard that he was the front runner, and the trades have confirmed that Speak No Evil director James Watkins will take the helm of Clayface. According to Hollywood Reporter, he landed the gig after extensive search, met with DC co-CEO James Gunn on Thursday for a final presentation before being offered the project. Sources say the film is budgeted at $40 million. I love that. Oh my God, I love that. And is a Hollywood horror tale centering on a B-movie actor who injects himself with a substance to keep himself relevant, only to find out he can reshape his face and form, becoming a walking piece of clay. $40 million. Take note. Gunn will produce alongside Peter Daffran, and Safran will not be on this one. It'll be Peter Daffran. And that director Matt Reeves with Lynn Harris. I love Mark Cassidy. I'm just kidding. It happens. With Lynn Harris and Chantal Nog serving as executive producers. Mike Flanagan penned the script, but was reportedly unavailable to direct due to his commitments to a Carrie TV series and the new Exorcist movie. The project has been given an official release date of September 11, 2026. Based on previous comments, the movie will be set in the DCU as opposed to Reeves' Batverse. Exciting news out of the studios is Clayface, a DCU story from a script by Mike Flanagan, has been officially greenlit. Clayface premieres at 2026. Safran shared a few new details on the script, noting that Clayface is indeed going to be a full horror movie in the same way as David Cronenberg's The Fly. And more recently, we learned that the movie will take more of a little inspiration from The Substance. Wow. Clayface, you see, is a Hollywood horror story. According to our sources, using the most popular incarnation of the villain, a B-movie actor injects himself with a substance to keep himself relevant, only to find out that he can reshape his face and form, becoming a walking piece of clay. Clayface is looking to shoot in a variety of locales, including Vancouver, Toronto, and New Jersey or Atlanta. No word on casting just yet. James McAvoy rumor was false, but Alan Tudyk recently provided the voice of Clayface in the Creature Commando series, meaning there's a chance he could also play the character in live action.
I think he would crush that,
Maybe.
bro.
I love this approach so much. Instead of trying to make this a $200 million DC movie, you make it for $40 million. You put the marketing behind it. You get a good actor behind it. And you make a good story. You make a good horror movie. You get the horror fans out. And you've got a chance for this to make a lot of money.
I fully agree. I think the biggest problem that we've had is that everything, especially if it's behind IP, we got to throw $150, $200 million behind it. No, you don't. Some movies are meant to be a little smaller and let them cook. Like, put a solid story behind it, put solid actors, like you mentioned, and just let them go. And Alan Tudyk is a fantastic actor. He's done a lot of stuff with DC previously. So obviously we mentioned Creature Commandos. He was, a lot of people don't know this because they didn't watch Doom Patrol, but he was Mr. Nobody and he was incredible. He was so good. So I would absolutely love to see him do that. I think that on top of the fact that, like, he'd done stuff before, but I think a lot of people know him with Fillion and others in Firefly as kind of like his popping off moment in his career. Sorry about that. That's probably my computer again. Or maybe you didn't hear that. Did you not hear the little ding? Nope. Oh, great. Okay, great. Nice. But I think that he would be perfect for the role because then, I'm sure he would love to do it too. He's getting up there in age. So the idea of trying to do something and really, keep your youth and keep your relevancy and stuff, I think that'd be awesome. It's
also the thing with you can afford to do that. You don't need to get a big movie star. Look, there's a couple of ways that could work. You don't need to get a big movie star in that role when you're James Gunn because you're making the decision here. Plus, with $40 million, you just got to get people excited about it enough to get them into the theater and make $40 million to, plus the marketing and everything too. But nonetheless, you don't need a star in order to do that, right? Mm-hmm. But I still think they're going to try to cast it with some people, maybe it's people who are getting the up and ups, if you will. You can't you can't throw away your budget on big actor salaries for this. You just can't do it. Right, so right. I like where they're going with it. And the director, Scene of Evil was very well directed. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they're doing with this. I like the approach. So what do you guys think? Is this the way to go? Do you like the choices all the way together? Do you like the budget side of it? What say you? All right, we're going to get to your questions in just a moment here. But before we do, I've been telling you guys about Trade Coffee. If you haven't been looking at Trade Coffee and you're a coffee drinker, well, I don't know what to tell you. Your head's broken. That's a good way to pitch it. But let me tell you, this is Trade. I'm going to tell you more about them. And sign up today because you'll be thanking me. I promise. All right, coffee drinkers. I'm sure you're like me. I start the morning and I need my coffee. I got to have 2 cups. That's what I do. Leave me alone. Don't bother me until I have my coffee. And for the longest time, I kept saying, I don't know. I don't like that bag of coffee. I don't like that one. That one's just decent. I have not been like that in a long time because I discovered Trade. And once I did, I'll never go back. It is a coffee subscription service that delivers freshly roasted coffee straight to my door. I love it. Trade is the #1 U.S. specialty coffee marketplace. It brings you fresh coffee from over 50 of the country's top roasters. Every bag is roasted to order. You'll taste it. You smell the difference from your very first cup. It just lights up the room. I'm telling you, this is so fresh. I feel like a coffee connoisseur now after being with Trade for so long. I just dig the different kind of blends. There's things that I thought I would never like that I've tried and now I love. And you have such a great menu and things you can just browse on their site and they'll fit it right to your taste. It's brilliant. I love trade. You guys know I do. I rave about it. It's like Christmas time every time I talk about trade. Now, Trade is exclusively offering our listeners 40% off your first order at drinktrade.com/Kristian. Did you hear what I just said? That's drinktrade, TRAD.com/Kristian for 40% off your first order. Drinktrade.com/Kristian. Do not miss out on Trade. You will thank me for it. I promise. I don't know if you got Kristian any of this stuff yet, man, but like
she loves it.
I know. She has Trade.
Yeah, she is actually very familiar because I think I told you that she used to work for a coffee company, and so she tried it out and she absolutely loved it.
I just ordered three new bags that are coming to the office. They're gonna be here tomorrow. So excited. Anyway, okay, we're gonna get to the questions, and we're gonna see if Winston can pull off a miracle here today and beat Roxy.
What are we starting at?
I'll tell you in a second. Mike and Steph, you got to beat them at, what did I say, 363. So you're close. I'll tell you that. But I'll tell you in a second. 363 you need to be. But before we do that, where can they find you?
You can find me at the Swaggy Blurred on all platforms. I will be live this afternoon. Just kind of, I've got a doctor's appointment, but then I'll be home and just playing some catch up, man. I haven't done a live for you guys in a minute, just again, since I am still kind of dealing with the whole move situation, but just want to play catch up. We'll talk about the Super Bowl because people don't really know how I felt about the halftime show. I got a lot to talk about that. A lot of the news that you heard here and some other stuff, my thoughts on all of that. I'm really going to go through it all, including the fact that Jay-Z's lawsuit has been dropped on a Diddy or Didn't he? So we'll talk about that. Diddy's going off on some stuff. His lawyer today apparently tried to back out and is like, I want nothing to do with this anymore. So we're going to talk about a lot of stuff this afternoon. It'll be a little bit freer than normal. It won't be as structured. We're just going to hang and talk about stuff. So come on and say what's up.
Check him out. And then we'll see. We might be talking to a victorious Winston if you go over there, because you're only 326 away from 326 away.
Way to bury the lead, man. On Black History Month, y'all. On Black History Month.
I remember you doing that last year, but we'll see what happens. But look, Mike and Steph weren't in the lead, but then they were. So first one, Crashing Coyote. Hear me out. Gunn writes The Authority, Snyder directs. That could be pretty good.
I actually don't hate that.
No, it'd be pretty good. Yeah, I like that also. Maybe that could be Crashing Coyote. Come back to us after next week. Maybe that's the announcement we cover here next week. Jason Ashcroft, Jeff Schneider said yesterday he's heard the current DC directors are already annoyed with Gunn and his antics. Notes talking about their movies. This is very alarming to me. Thoughts? Look, this is what I'll tell you. In the position that I didn't like to be in with Schmoedown, everybody is a critic of the way you should be doing it, and everybody can run it better than you, and everybody would do this storyline if they were running it, and I should do my own trivia league. I should do this. I should do that. I should do this. Oh, why are you telling me this? It comes with the territory. So I'm sure one of the things when Gunn was one of the creatives doing this stuff, and then he is now in charge of the others. They still look at him as a peer. So I'm not surprised, but it's his job. It's his job. It's what he's supposed to do. So yeah, there's always going to be the big egos that go, James Gunn's trying to tell me what to do. This guy's, you got lucky. I'm going to do my own thing. He's not Marvel. You can see that happening. So I think that is probably true, but Gunn's got to he's got to stay the course.
Yeah, I think he's just got to do what he has to do, especially from the standpoint of he was the one that was hired to do this. Nothing has come out yet. I think he is the captain, and before we start a mutiny, he needs to be able to do what he wants to do.
I'm the captain now. All right, let's see. Jose Diaz, what's up, man? Happy Friday, gents. What do you guys expect from The Rock's return tonight? He better not be challenging Cody. He needs to be Roman now or never. So I'm going to check that out and make sure I'm going to see. I'm so curious. I'm trying because we don't. So do you follow wrestling at all? I know.
I got back on the train last year around the Royal Rumble. Then I will randomly poke in if somebody's like something crazy is happening, but not really.
So we just had on Matt Serra's show, Karrion Kross was on, and he's now one of my. I already liked him beforehand now, but he's now one of my favorite people in general. He's just a very intelligent, just head on his shoulders, and really great on the mic in general. But I just like the guy a lot. They're going to be at Madison Square Garden on the 10th, and Sarah and I are going to try to go.
Nice.
And I also want to go to that because I want to see the lead up to WrestleMania, because it's like, a month away or something like that. So there should be a lot of shit going down for that one. It would be fun. But as far as The Rock returning tonight, I don't want him to challenge Cody. I think I agree. I think Roke and I debated this on Monday. I think that now is the time to do like the Hogan versus Rock match and do Roman versus The Rock. And do it now, because don't take away from CM Punk. Let CM Punk get a title shot and let him go against Cody, which will be great. And this is why I was telling you guys, I think that they threw away the Royal Rumble thing with Jey Uso. They didn't need to do, if they were, even though they're going to give him a push to this, they didn't need to give him a main event, because you could have put Roman or somebody, or you could have Punk against Gunther. You could have put someone else against Gunther, whatever. And then I think they wasted the spot with Jey Uso, to be completely honest. All right, let's see. Next one. Go Pal. I'm really liking Reacher season 3, and I'm wondering if is it just me, or does the new female lead doing a particularly awful Boston accent? I can't speak. I haven't seen it. But now I'm going to be looking for it. I still got to finish season 2 though.
Yeah, I got to finish season 2 as well. I was about halfway through it. I really love that show though. You know what? It kind of the first season in a lot of ways reminded me of Rebel Ridge.
Okay.
Kind of the same.
Yeah.
The
Definitely.
cops are corrupt here, and
I think there's more going. I think there's more going on in Jack Reacher than in that season, action wise, than in Rebel Ridge. But I agree. Same type of tone. I need to watch it though, because I liked 1. I just need to watch season 2 for sure.
I gotta finish that.
Yeah, but I'll look for the awful accent.
Real quick, talking about Boston accents though. Did you ever watch a show Kevin Can F Himself?
No.
It was an AMC show starring she was in
I think I know who it is. Kristen Ritter?
Not Kristen Ritter, Annie something. She was in Schitt's Creek, the sister in Schitt's Creek.
Oh no. Okay.
It is amazing. It's essentially, it starts off as a multicam sitcom of like similar to like the Kevin Can Wait, like doofus husband, whatever.
Yeah.
And every time he leaves the room, it goes to a single cam focused on the wife and how she's actually miserable as F, but because of her husband, it always like kind of cuts back. The reason I brought that up is just because they're in Boston, so there are definitely some really bad Boston accents, I think, as kind of the point. Yeah. But it's the type of show that I honestly think you would love. It was like Annie Murphy. That's the name I was looking for.
Eddie Murphy's in it?
Andy Murphy. But the idea of you take that sitcom and then put it on its ear with almost kind of like a Breaking Bad, like a Good Girls type,
All right. We got a new member, Zachary Cantrell, getting a lot of new members now. We're posting a lot of the Raw reactions. We just posted the Raw reaction from Endgame. We posted the Raw reaction of Captain Marvel, and there was one other one we posted. Iron Man. We're gonna post a few more of the Raw reactions to both members and patrons. So if you want to join and become a patron today, you can do that, or become a member. Derek Johnson throwing in support. Thank you, Derek. Follows it up. If I'm being honest, the combination of Gunn's storytelling, camera movement, and music mixed with Zach's ability for cinematography could be a huge thing. But honestly, this just feels like a way to appease the Snyder heads. I think it's yes, I do, but I also think that it might be something. He's always been very upfront that he's friends with Zach, and then maybe he wants to work with Zach. So maybe why not kill 2 birds with 1 stone? You know?
I mean, look, they're both big enough that I don't ever see them co-directing, but I definitely think one of them writing, one of them directing, and then the 2 of them producing, I think would be fantastic.
John Vargas becomes a new YouTube member. Thank you, John. And a lot of new YouTube members. Really excited about that. We have over 200 now. It's amazing. Wow. Mike Joyce, more horror reactions, please. Watch Eggers movies. Mike, I'd love to. Here's the problem with horror reactions. Nobody watches them. That's the problem. It's like, I guess maybe it's not a horror channel. It's like, this is what I did make a commitment to, Winston, because I said that Squid Game that I was going to watch, and I at one point said, you know what? I'm going to watch this, and if nobody watches it, then I'll stop doing it. But then I thought that wasn't fair to the people that were watching it.
Sure.
And I'm like, there are people who are like, with me and watching me on this adventure. I said, I don't care, even if 5 or 60,000 people watching this per episode, I'm just going to watch them all because plus the fact I really enjoy it. But it is actually a problem because I just watched season 1, episode 4 yesterday. And it ends on this cliffhanger.
And you really want to go forward. You know,
and I'm like, I wanted to push play right away. And I'm like, damn it. And then I'm like, but I was like, because they did it, you bastards. I'm like, I can't hit play. So I'm getting into the show and people are enjoying it. They can watch it. But that I'm going to do all the way through. I'm going to watch that. The horror movies are like every time I've done one. I've done Smile, Long Legs, and now we just put Nosferatu up. And all 3 of them are just... And it's like, it's different than saying, okay, look, I already committed to it. I'm going to watch like this, and this. Horror movies, it is not working on the channel. I'm putting up the Spider-Man Tobey Maguire reaction with Sam because she's never seen it. She's only seen the third one.
I need to go back and watch her Endgame one. I saw your countdown about it because I remember you teasing it last week and being like, oh, dude, she's probably fully broken by the time that movie's over.
Oh, she was in heavy mourning.
Was she like standing up and clapping during the credits?
No, she was really broken up. She could like at the end of it, she was broken up. But yeah, the reaction did very well. But we're just finding, I'm going to watch. What I realize is that I don't know if I'll call it a first time watching because I know that she's seen it, but she doesn't remember it. And that's Sadie with the Rocky movies. Like I asked her, I said, have you seen the Rocky movies? She's like, I think so. And I'm like, what do you remember about the first one? She's like, there's an old man. This is how she pitched it. She goes, there's an old man and Rocky doesn't get along with his brother. And then he wins the first fight. I go, so basically you remember nothing about the movie. None of that.
Dude, I realized this. I think I've only seen Rocky 3.
Whoa.
Rocky 4 and
Holy
then
shit.
the Creed movies.
Wow. Yeah. I need you want to move to New York?
Yeah. What we'll do is we'll figure out a time when I can just come out there for an extended period. We'll just shoot as much as we can.
Shoot a whole bunch of reactions when you're here. All right. Go Pal. As I recall, people hated Sucker Punch, but I liked it, especially the longer cut. What'd y'all think? I've never been as duped into someone telling me that what I initially thought of the movie was wrong than Mark Ellis when I saw that movie. We went and saw that movie, and I was like, "It was so loud." I go, "I don't like it." And he goes, "Yeah, you liked it. You liked it." I go, "I did." He's like, "Yeah, come on, think about it. The music was great. It was cool. It was fun. It was good." And I'm like, "I don't think I liked it." He's like, "Nah, come on." And I went up giving it a review, going, "Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was all right." And I'm thinking that movie sucks. I don't like that movie. It's too loud. I've seen it once, and it's just like so loud and bombastic. And I'm like, I don't know. I haven't seen it since that time, but it's the only time I felt like bamboozled by Ellis.
Fair. Totally fair. He's a very well, it depends. Maybe in his older age. He's not old, but like no. I did Marshall's like traders the holiday thing, right?
Yeah.
And Mark was one of the traders, and I called it immediately. We're all sitting there, everybody's throwing their thoughts out, and I was like, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, Mark Ellis, a traitor. He ain't said a damn thing. That's one of the funniest men I've ever met in my life. And he'd been silent. He goes, first of all, I don't always have to be funny. Second of all, and then immediately after we vote Mark out, he goes, so I'd just like to say, F Winston, I am a traitor. Like he immediately, so you're right. He's very good at doing that when he means
Yeah, exactly. All right. Let's see. Next one here, and this is Armada. I think Daniel Craig is more interested in joining the Spielberg DC movie Black Cook. Coy will be happy, I think. Remember last week? Someone said Black Cock or something about that. I can't remember what. Hilarious. All right. Go Pal. And why do studios insist on making Snyder turn in objectively worse, shorter versions of his movies? Well, that's not fair.
No.
Because I think there are not, and it's not just Snyder, there are many directors that do this. They're told, and this is from working in the studio system, we need this movie to come in at around 205, 210. And then the director comes back and goes, well, my version, what I really want, my vision is like 252. And you're like, well, we can't put out a 252 because it's more money in the theaters and it's more money, costs us more money. It's like, yeah, but that's my movie. So, yeah, I know, but we told you we needed 212, but that's my movie. Can you cut it a little bit? Yeah, okay. It's 251 now. And you're like, what are we going to do? It's like, well, all right, you know what? I'll tell you what. If you cut it down, it's just not going to have the same rhythm, which is fair. It won't. It'll have a very different rhythm. But they design these movies as 3-hour movies when they're supposed to be 2-hour movies. And he's not the only one that does this. There's a lot of people that do this. So it's not the studio making him. They agree on it unless they say, hey, look, we're going to give you a 2-hour and 50-minute movie. And then they change their minds. Then that's different. But they tell them what they want the runtime to be, what they around this. Look, we want to try to clock in the scripts. If the script is 120 pages, then it should be a 2-hour movie. That's usually how it works, a minute per page.
It just depends on if the page is more dialogue heavy or more action heavy. And knowing Snyder, it's very action heavy, and that takes longer if you think about it, because it's like, and then the sun crests over the mountains, and then all the army marches in, and then this person stabbing this person, all that takes way longer than me and Kristian having a back and forth on how the page breaks down. So, yeah, he has a problem with brevity. And while on the one hand, it's cool for like a big epic, on the other hand, depending on what you're talking about and depending on the stuff that he decides he wants to tackle, it's not necessarily meant to do that.
Right.
You know?
Mike Joyce, support for Winston. Let's beat the record.
Please. Let's at least get respectable. Damn.
You got 30 minutes to do it. Good luck. Armada.
From now on, everybody, if that was $5, put I accidentally had another one, my windows down, another one, and my volume up, another one. Like, please.
You're trying. Just give it up. Armada, I accidentally had my windows down and my volume up at a drive-thru when Coy said Black Coke. Marcus M. Snyder needs to direct the authority in the DCU. I feel after the first guy said that, I feel like that's going to be the announcement. I do. I feel like that's going to be the announcement. I think it's going to be written by James Gunn, directed by Zak Snyder, and I think people are going to lose their minds. Gopal, Rebel Moon director's cut is so much better. The original looks like an atrocity. It has a good story. Tying the action together was all cut. Now, what I will say, what is very stupid, and this was probably a Netflix thing, where I don't know why Snyder agreed to this. He had a rated R cut of this movie, the Rebel Moon. That should have been the first one out the gate. If that's what your movie was, and especially if it's on Netflix, why they put a PG-13 version out? That's not, because who wants to go back and watch another version of it if it's not good? So that was a stupid decision.
And like, if this had been released theatrically, like that was what they were aiming for to put, then you, fine, I'll give you that a little bit because you're trying to get butts and seats, but that doesn't make sense when it's streaming and people watch it whenever they want. Give us the rated R version. What are you doing?
Right. I totally agree. That should have been the first thing out the gate. All right. Marcus M. Hopefully we get a new DCU project timeline. I mean, the first one was like 2 years ago, right? A year and a half ago or something like that.
Yeah, I want to say it was like 2022.
So that would be good. I mean, I don't know. I would assume like Coy's not going to tell us shit if he went. But I assume that there's going to be a bunch of people, and I wonder if shit will leak, but probably not. There's probably going to be an embargo on it. I wonder when the embargo lifts. That we might probably get out of some people's when the embargo lifts on that.
Yeah, it's been a minute, man. They got hired in 2022, and then early 2023 they had that little presser.
Right. Okay, so it's been almost 2 years. Okay. Sean McCabe, I finally saw Craven. Cool action. That's about it. That's probably the next one I'm going to do with Tina is Craven, because I still haven't seen it. So
I mean, get your views, but I want to spare you, but you got to do what you got to do.
I want to see it. I'm curious to see, because I heard it's not terrible. I heard it's just is.
Well, I will warn you right now. You were going to get the Mark Ellis treatment of, is this a good movie in the first 8 minutes, and then it's just all downhill from there.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's fair enough. Armada. James Watkins is on for Clayface. Yeah, that is definitely a good move. It's a good move. All right. Samad Ali. Hey, Kristian, longtime viewer, first time chat. That's my favorite thing when somebody puts that in there, by the way. It's the new radio. It's the new radio. I've been watching you since Collider in 2017, and it's nice to see you and the gang all thrive since then. Hope to chime in live more often. All the best. And I'm so glad that you did. Please do. And please let us know what you're doing. And please let us know if you have any questions for us. The beauty of being able to learn all these new personalities here today. So thank you. The Real Red 5. Mark Hamill's pants falling down at the BAFTA Awards was hilarious. Have you ever had anything? Did you not see this?
No.
Poor bastard. He's in the middle of the thing, and he's just terrified because you can tell something went wrong. And he's like, what? But to his credit, he keeps on reading the shit, but his pants fall down, and it's bad. Someone's like, who was blowing him underneath the thing? It's not the best moment. Have anything happened to me like that? I only remember I was like 12 or 13 years old. I was watching a football game. My dad at the high school around the block, and man, just shit my pants. It didn't make it all the way back. That was it. No, nothing ever happened to you like that.
I pissed myself at a Cowboys game, but that's there's more to that story. But that's the fast version.
That's fair. Derek, my friend is a fucking lunatic. We used to call him Perm, and it was the fun. He should have been on Jackass. I mean, like he should have been. Like he used to get into shopping carts and tell people to push him down the thing when nobody was holding him, like he was crazy shit like that. But I'll never forget. It was the funniest thing I ever saw, because if you knew him and his face, and he's like, "Hey guys," and he walks in with this like, and I'm telling you, everyone's in the living room watching like television, men, women, everybody just, and he goes, "Hey guys," and he's just standing in the middle, and he makes these nice slacks and just pisses himself in front of everybody, just straight laughing his ass off. He goes, "All right, see you later," and I was like, he just pissed himself. It was fucking crazy lunatic. All right, Derek Johnson. Thank you, Derek. All right, next one, and we are again, Winston, getting closer and closer, man, closer and closer.
All right,
yeah, you're currently at 57. SJC, Avengers and X-Men in the same world never made sense. They both have powers, but we only hate the X-Men. Right.
It does if you look at it in this particular sense. First of all, you got to think with the Avengers, how are they all presented? You do have Spider-Man, who's getting hated on by J. Jonah Jameson all the time,
right?
And the Hulk, who obviously is getting hated on because he's a rage monster destroying things. But Iron Man came out here being like, "I'm a billionaire. Look at me. I'm saving everybody." Captain America was a government.
Because he's not a mutant, though.
He's not a mutant. Captain America was a science experiment put on by the government to be shown that he's whatever. Thor is a damn god that came down out of nowhere. So they're treated differently. Same thing when you look at the Fantastic Four. You already had Reed Richards being a famous scientist. And then it was, again, a freak experiment happened and then whatever versus these humans were born with these godlike powers.
The evolution.
Some of them look like monsters.
Well, it's because the evolution, they feel like that humans are getting canceled out. Right.
It made perfect sense.
Yeah. Armada. I've been thinking that they need to do 3 Avengers movies to wrap up this saga. They should have had one in between the saga before Doomsday and Secret to do 2. Yeah, maybe. I just want it to be over.
Yeah.
I just want it to be over. I want it to be good, and I want it to be over.
I get that.
Casual Fandom. Elseworlds is an odd precedent for new universe cultish Zak Snyder group called for alternate universe storylines. The Batman success forced their hand, in my opinion. For Elseworlds? The Batman. Yeah, maybe you're right. Yes. Yes, you're right. The Batman did force their hand. I think absolutely. And Joker also. Remember, when they came up with that at first, the Joker 2 hadn't come out yet, and the Joker 1 made $1 billion. So and it was on everybody as it should have been, and everybody's anticipated list, the second one. So they're like, look, if there's another one that's pretty good, maybe they do it not. Who knows? Let's do Elseworld stuff. I think that the Joker's success and the Batman success absolutely forced their hand to do that for sure. Marcus M. Teen Titans in the DCU has potential to be huge with a younger audience.
Yeah, I certainly think so. It has a huge potential for a more adult audience as well. Not necessarily because you're going to do crazy adult stories, but just from the standpoint that was the shit that I grew up with. Like that Teen Titans cartoon, I want to say came out like from 2003 to 2006, 2007, something like that, and was huge. A lot of us were on that. So it has the potential to really hit with everybody.
All right, let's see. Next one here. Call me Jabba. Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man genuinely surprised me. I expected mid-Marvel rubbish, but they did a really amazing job. Cannot wait for season 2. People love this show.
It's fantastic, man.
Yeah.
It is very well done. A lot of twists, ways to still give like your own, like what you would really like about it that you'll find out pretty quickly is how much it ties to the MCU, but it really is in Elseworlds. Like
Okay.
you'll see when, like, I hope you eventually watch it
I
because
will. Right now I'm finishing up Cobra Kai because I hear the ending is just so strong.
it's really good. Cobra Kai also ended.
You finished it? You finished
Yeah,
it?
it's
Okay, yeah.
fantastic.
I got through I finished the second half with my daughter last night. We watched the second half, and now we're leading into the last 6. So I want to finish it up. So I'm going to finish that, and then, like I said, I'm going to try to knock out as many Squid Game as I can. Sam's coming in to do Spider-Man today, so that's what I'll be watching. I don't want to finish the what's it called? The Gorge? Is that what it is? Is that the one? What's the one with Anya Taylor-Joy and Miles Teller?
Oh, that I think you're right.
Yeah, it's the Gorge. The Gorge. That's the one I'm watching right now. I'm going to finish that up with the white balls. So eventually I'll get to Spider-Man, but I can't because it's animated. I'm kidding. Animation's for everybody, you know. Anthony Colston, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe that you saw season 3 of Daredevil, Kristian. If you start Born Again without seeing 3, you will regret it. So good. I can't remember if I saw the 3rd season. I know I didn't.
No, I didn't, and I need to go back, and I need to probably try and push Punisher in there too.
Another reason that I won't see Spider-Man yet is because I want to catch up on that because I'm going to be seeing that. I'm going to react to the new episodes, and I want to make sure I'm kind of caught up. But the problem is, I've never seen one episode of the Punisher either. Do I need to watch the Punisher also?
It sounds like it because the Punisher is going to be in there.
Shit, I'm going to have to just binge.
And I think that's just a private binge, which again, I don't know where you have enough time in the day. You got kids, a wife, 5 channels.
I will have more.
12 hosts.
I will have more. I'll have more of an opportunity to watch them if I wait until people go to sleep and watch a few episodes. Watching it in the studio and reacting to them is not going to happen because, like I said, this morning I was going to do videos for my other channel. I didn't have an opportunity to do that. Matt Serra came in. He did an interview with Chris Lytle, which was awesome. It was really great. And then they jumped on here, and then Sam's coming in. So that's my day today. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to go watch season 3 and see if I'll start the first episode, and if maybe I'll remember it. I don't know. I got to see. I don't remember if I saw the 3rd season. Anyway, but I'll go and check it out. All right, let's see. Next one. Mike's Movie Madness. Do you think if Sony had done better, we could have gotten a one-off body horror film about Spider-Man's mutation into Man-Spider? Probably not, because they weren't really approaching Spider-Man in general. But I mean, the answer is who knows. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's a who knows type scenario, man.
Armada. Genius SNL skit. Finstock as Blake Lively's attorney, and then Justin Baldoni. Okay, called Dice is Baldoni's attorney. You know, my client, what did he do so wrong? And you got her husband calling him nice, Paul. So it's like, I'd rather see Rodney Dangerfield. I don't know who's innocent, who's guilty, who knows. Nice pool.
I still can't believe because Baldoni and his lawyers kind of outed himself. I don't think anybody caught on that was supposed to be Justin until they go, and they made fun of me in the movie.
But it's working now. It's working because the tide is turning on everything I see is people going against Ryan and Blake. I don't see a lot of support for them right now. And it's like, I think that Saturday Night Live move was a bad move. They're like, well, there's conflicting reports that there's conflicting reports that he decided to change that joke, and then others say no, it was pitched. Either way, he should have said no. We're not doing that. That makes no sense for us to do right now. There's nothing good that comes out of that. That was a bad move. It was a real bad move, and I think she's hurt more than he will be. But yeah, it's not the best. Yeah, you talk about no respect. Let's see. Jenny Lynn, a fellow Cowboys fan, support. Yeah, that's nice.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I just, God,
Yeah.
man.
DJ Case coming back in with 10 memberships. Thank you, DJ Case. Listen, you get gifted a membership. Take advantage of it. Look at the Capes and Cowls comic book. Watch some of the raw reactions and stay every month, man. Stay. Mike's Movie Madness. Don't worry about the question count when people feel bad for Grumpy Mike and finally wanted to give him a win. There you go.
That is one hell of a win. That is a damn statement. What were y'all talking about that day?
It's yesterday. Well, on Monday when they got to 293, which I never thought was going to be beat, that was a Captain America spoiler. Yesterday was James Bond. It's a lot of James Bond questions. Tons, and
Mike's the expert. Yeah.
Here's the props I give to Mike and Steph on that. 293, the one on Monday, there was a lot of questions from different people, and Derek, as he always does, generously comes in and hits in, and Crystal was in a lot on Monday. Crystal was not. Derek was pretty strong in yesterday's show too. But there was a lot of outside questions for Bond that came in that pushed them over for sure. But Derek also was.
Mike had the time, man. He should just start a Bond channel. He would crush.
No, I just don't know how a Bond channel would do in general.
But I mean, when you consider that Amazon just wrestled, wasn't that the big thing? They wrestled the reins away?
Right. But I just don't know. I mean, I don't know. You never know. There's stranger things have happened. Can you dig it? It's great. What's up, fellas? Any thoughts on the new Street Fighter movie director news? The anime movies from the 90s were the only good ones to me. We'll see. Did they announce? We were going to talk about this yesterday on the show, and I'm glad you brought that up. Do we know who the director is for the new Street Fighter movie? Let me see. Street Fighter live action. Let's see. Street Fighter live action. And did they say anything yet about who the new director is? Oh, Kato Sakurai is going to direct the new Street Fighter movie. So the new director at the helm. Let's see what he did. Following the report, it was confirmed from Bad Trip has signed to helm the film. Okay. I mean, listen. I'd like to see a good Street Fighter movie. That would be great. I would love that. I mean, that would be amazing to see. Mike's Movement is breaking. James Gunn bringing Snyder back to continue a Snyderverse. Some Snyder bro Redditor, probably. That's definitely. Shelf presence. Not Bostonian accent. Cloister. She's from Maine. Oh, in Reacher. I guess she's from Maine, not Boston. There you go. Armada. Saw Squid Game 1 and 2 earlier this week. Good stuff. My reaction or the actual.
I think they're calling season 2 just like 2. So maybe they meant because unless you've only put 2 out.
Right now I've only put 2 episodes out.
Oh well, then probably about you then.
Yeah, because the third I just sent off to get edited, and then the fourth one. I'm hoping to get Saturday and Sunday. I'm hoping to have them both up. Mike Triss, I just hope we can see your wife's Team America reaction. Yeah, that's definitely going to be up. I just don't know when, but it will for sure. Okay, 67 so far, not bad. Now you're under 300. So J Mobile with Reacher season 3 dropping. I really hope MCU gets Alan Richardson. I don't see him as a one-off, but as someone who could be there for a while. Who do you think he could be? An X-Men maybe? Maybe, but you always think that but he could always be like a senator or something, or with some kind of other character and whatever it might be. But I'd like to see him do something pretty solid. And was Colossus?
If he could do an accent, he could be Colossus. He could be the Juggernaut. There's plenty of big, bulky ass bastards that he could be, man.
Yep. Marcus Longoni. Gunn wrote Dawn of the Dead, and Zach directed it. Friends, did he really? Did he write it? I didn't realize he wrote Dawn of the Dead. That's interesting. Good call. Interesting. Okay. Y'all believe Fantastic Four is an hour and 30? Did they say that it was an hour and 30?
It was a 90-minute movie?
No. Who said that?
Hold on.
Who said it was 90 minutes? No way. DJ Case, one of my favorite parts of Sam's Endgame reaction was how excited Sam got when Tony snaps and the look on Kristian's face knowing what's coming. Oh, yeah. I remember that. Just sitting over looking at her going, oh, she doesn't really know yet. She didn't figure out what happened yet. And because then you see her when she goes, what is going on?
I don't know how much I trust this source, but multiple sources and studio insiders have reportedly claimed the Fantastic Four first steps will probably be about an hour and 37 minutes long.
No chance.
I don't know about that.
No way. It'd be the shortest Marvel movie, MCU movie ever. Derek Johnson, Alan Richardson as Sabretooth.
That'd be good.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's real good. That's real good, actually. I like that. Okay. Next one here. Hasbro 24. Winston, how are your Dodgers looking this year?
I mean, I've said this multiple times that I don't be on baseball like that, but I know that they signed Snell, Yates, and Sasaki, so they look like they're probably going to do some work. Rangers look like they were flash in the pan, so it is what it is. I've told y'all I'm done talking about that shit, but y'all do what you do.
You love the Dodgers. Orange Grove. Who's your guess for the next Disney CEO? Right now, I'm leaning towards Dana Walden. Your guess is I'll go with you on Dana Walden. Hey, Orange Grove, how you doing?
You think Iger is leaving again?
Well, he said eventually he was going to. He's talking about after Iger leaves. Maybe so. But I don't know enough about it, Orange Grove, to be completely honest. I wouldn't know who to guess. Not sure. Mearsum, support for Winston. There you go. Mike Joyce, Hooters filing for bankruptcy.
No!
Favorite Hooters memory. I got 2 of them.
I got one. Go ahead though.
You didn't get that.
Oh, there it is. I thought you actually had 2 stories. I was like, I bet. Go.
You have 2 favorite memories.
Probably my favorite was freshman year of college before school started. My parents brought me out. My dad and I went to lunch at Hooters because it was, my dad wanted wings or whatever. And our waitress came over and then walked away. And he was just like, I don't think that Cynthia should be working here. I don't see a Hooter nor a ass.
Good. Yeah, I was like, I remember going there and just surprised at how good the wings were.
The wings are legitimately good, man. Good.
Well, not anymore because they're going to be bankrupt. Jay Mobile watched Sam's Endgame reaction with my wife, and even she got misty-eyed. Man, will we ever get to those Marvel highs again in our lifetime? Never say never. Never say never. You never know. It's like, look, I think they have a good shot to set it up all with the X-Men if they do it right. I think that this phase they got to get out of it. I just don't think they don't have the tools right now, but I think they could set it up with the X-Men again. I really do.
You got to take baby steps, and that's what they're doing right now.
Yep. Marcus M. Scream, Final Destination, Halloween franchises tend to do the best as horror reactions. I don't know if Sam has seen, or Tina, I'm sure Tina has seen all of those. I'm sure she's seen all of them. But there is one of those things now, what I've realized is that instead of maybe some, as I said, like with Rocky, where I'm pretty sure my wife has seen the first one, but she doesn't remember it, that I'm just not going to call it first time watching. I'm just going to say reaction to it, and she can react to it that way. Joey Pedras, cast the Rat Pack. That's Avengers. Rat Pack.
Are they dead?
No, they're not dead. You're thinking of the. Wait, the Rat Pack is dead. Yeah,
the Rat Pack is the Rat Pack is the Breakfast Club, right?
Right. Yes. Oh yeah, the Rat Pack is sure. He's asking us. Never mind. He's asking us who, if you're going to cast
the Rat Pack, who they would be in.
Right. It's man. I mean, so it's.
Let me look them up because I know it, but it's
Frank
just off the top of my head.
Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., and who's the fourth?
What is it? Peter Lawford and Joey Bishop?
No.
I don't know. I just Googled it.
And then we'll do it.
Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Joey Bishop, Peter Lawford, and Sammy Davis Jr.
I wouldn't even know how to do that, man. I'm sorry. I love the question, though, but I just wouldn't know how to do that. Big Bang OT4. Hey, Winston, Ark is the truth. Hook 'em horns.
Let's go, Arch Manning, bro. I can't wait for him. I can't wait for him to cook this coming year. I think he's going to do a really good job. I hated that he had to sit, but it is what it is. Like, they need to make up for that ass whooping they had at the end of the year, man.
You know what's so crazy is any day normally you look and you go 71 wins. That's a hell of a day. It's like you're like
so depressing.
Like 290 away. Right. Jay Mobile. Got to give one more to support Winston. As a fellow blurred, I can't leave you hanging during Black History Month.
That's what's up, man. Hey, look. At this point, since there's no way I'm catching up, y'all can come and support me by coming and watching my stream later today, and we'll ham it up, man. Shit.
Matt W. Cavill as Darth Bane in a trilogy would be great. It would be great. They will never do a lead villain Sith for a movie. Maybe you get one for television.
I would love him as Malik to someone's Revan. Yeah, I think that would be cool.
Definitely. Yeah, that would be great. Big Bang OT4. Highly recommend Paradise. What a great show. I hear good things about it. My wife started watching it, but I didn't watch it. Yeah. Did you see any of it or not yet? No. Armada. Daredevil season 3 is the best season.
Wow. That's high praises.
I gotta go check and see. Yeah. Armada. Any more Matt Sarah movie reactions? If we do any more, it'll be on his channel, I think, because it's just a matter of the time. He still hasn't seen Captain America: Brave New World, so we actually talked about it. He and I grabbed a slice of pizza after we recorded today, and we're talking about it. He might wait to go see it and then just react to it on his channel. Big Bang OT4. Should Game of Thrones do a movie to fix the last season? I would be down for a Game of Thrones season. That Sam has never seen Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah. No. You talked about that. It was just, that's essentially what you're doing already, since these movies are somewhere between an hour and a half to 2 hours. That's hella movies essentially to go through to get through Game of Thrones, because 8 seasons. Like, oof. It's
a lot. Derek Johnson throwing support. Thank you, Derek. Squid Game season 2 was great. All right, I got to see that. Thank you, Ramon. I'm pushing through it. I'm going to see what I can do. Go Pal. Richardson and Cavill were good in the Ungentlemanly Warfare movie. They were. And Isa Gonzalez needs to be more stuff. My God, she's beautiful. Well, she's in Supergirl? What is she in? She's in something coming up. She's in something big. Is it Superman? What the hell is she in? She's in something. I thought she's in something. I think she's Superman, isn't she? I don't know. Edit Mahmood, thoughts on the Yankees changing the no beards rule. Good. Let them have beards. Yeah. Get rid of that. Yeah, it's so silly.
Let them ball. Good.
Yeah, get less corporate. Go Pal. Isia has the Hayek role from Dusk Till Dawn series, plus great in 3 Body Problem. Yeah, isn't she in? Am I wrong? I thought she's in Superman. Am I wrong? I thought she was.
Whoo, she fine.
Yeah, she is. Crystal, fan. What time is your stream, Winston?
That is a great question. I have a doctor's appointment at 3:30, so my guess is I will probably start that stream. Let's call it 6 p.m. Pacific time.
Okay, be consistent on your time, man.
No, I understand that. I normally been going at 6 p.m. Pacific, and that's I'm guessing. Yeah, I would do it earlier in the day, but yeah.
I kid with you, but speaking of which, so I'm glad I thought about this. Just a reminder to everybody that the show next week starting next week will now be on 11 a.m. PST. Moving forward, starting Monday, this show. Go Pal. And shout out to Winston's red, black, and green Liberation watch strap that he had been saving just for the proper occasion.
Oh, I just wear it all the time, but yes, hell yeah. I wore it just for Black History Month.
That's right. Ben's Eye Brandon, thoughts on Severance 2, Invincible 3, or Reacher 3? So I've only seen one of those out of the 3, and that's Severance season 2, and I'm loving it so far. Absolutely.
Severance season 2 and Invincible 3 have been great so far. I haven't started Reacher yet.
Yeah. Last one for now. Go Pal, who says it's 2 other gorgeous Latinas in Superman. Oh, is it? Okay. Maybe I was wrong then. Wait, so is she in Superman? Someone tell me if she's in Superman, for God's sakes.
All right, hold on. What's her name again?
Isa Gonzalez.
Andrew
Carnes. Remember the day of Snoke and Rey theories? Sad. Yeah, I remember. They were everywhere, and they could have been done.
That was fun. God damn, she bad. Woo!
Okay, they're keeping you alive.
Superman, I don't think so. I see Ash in the Gray, 3 Body Problem, Wolf Country, I Love Boosters, Mike and Nick and Alice, and Fountain of Youth, but I don't see anything about Superman.
All right. Armada, Jessica Williams from Shrinking as Storm. You can put Jessica Williams in anything you want, and I'll watch it.
Yes, you can. She is fantastic and gorgeous.
She is sexy as hell.
She is so good, man.
Yeah, she's good, and she's funny too. So I'd like to see her in Storm. Sure, why not? All right, now we are done. It looks like. You got close, Winston. You got close.
Yeah, I'm sure I did. I'm sitting here at what, 81?
78, but that's fine. All right. We did it. We did a show. We had a good show. It was a good show overall. Great topics, great conversation. Thank you, as we kid. Everybody who contributed today and asked questions, we love hearing from you, so really appreciate that. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Real quick, Winston, tell them the channel again.
youtube.com/theswaggyblurred. Again, I'll be here at 6 p.m. Pacific time, and we'll be doing kind of a loosey-goosey blurred breakdown, catch up, all that good stuff. So come hang out.
Again, for me, it's Apple Podcasts, it's Spotify. You can catch us. I have a bunch of reviews, reactions. If you haven't seen the Nosferatu one, please check that out with myself and Tina. If there's other things you want to see from us, put your comments in there. We have out of the theater reactions here. We have interviews. If you haven't checked out my Joe Manganiello interview, please check that out. And that's it. So for myself and Winston A. Marshall, we'll see you guys very soon. Appreciate you. See you later.